This video will be showing how to design stamps using Microsoft Word. Follow the cursor. Insert text box, draw text. Depending on the size of the stamp you want to design, let's say like this. Okay. Select the outer edge with this little cross, right click, format shape, fill color with black background, close, select where the text will be, select white text background. I am designing a stamp. This is a stamp. Now we can save it. After this, we need to print. And we need to change printer properties to grayscale printing or black, media type, photo, matte photo paper, print quality high, print paper size A4, then other setting, color intensity, manual, and set. And we want to change intensity to very dark, to the darkest. Okay. And then we can okay. This will be the film that we will print on. One side has a very glossy side. The other one has a matte side. You can verify that by wetting one side, and you'll notice your finger will stick to the matte side. That is the side you want to print on. So you will insert this film into your inkjet printer, not a laser printer, inkjet printer, and print. Stop. Hello, this is a video that will be demonstrating the process for making stamps using our Model 55, which is the smaller unit. We also have Model 1213, which is a much larger unit, allowing to make more stamps in one production. This model encompasses this work area, so however many stamps you can fit on this area, that's how many stamps you can make in one production run. For this demonstration, we will be using one stamp as seen on the glass plate. So let's get right into this whole process of making stamps. We have printed excuse me, earlier on our inkjet film, and there are two sides to it. One is a shiny side, another is a matte side. On this sheet, I have did a sample where you can wet your finger and touch somewhere in the corner either side. The side that will be sticky is the matte side, and that is the side that you want to use for the printing of the stamp designs. So after designing these stamps, next process is to cut out, in this case using a guillotine, all of the stamps. This large A4 size sheet can be reused in a printer, even to the smallest size, as seen here. But you can run this sheet through the inkjet printer until fully printed. So if you want to make one stamp or many stamps, you can run this sheet through. So let's go into the process of making a stamp. So here I have cut out one stamp. We're going to lay it down reading side up. Next, what we want to do is make a little wet channel around this negative. This is so when we put our film, it will neatly adhere to the glass like this. Now what we want to do is take out the bubble, so we have a tissue or soft paper or cloth, and we can just take out quickly all of the air bubbles like so. Next, I have cut out strips of our damming tape, and we want to lay this past the negative film like so. Not on the film, but past it. So we're making a little dam for the resin to be poured into. Something like this. So we have constructed this dam. Now we're ready to pour the resin. And here we have stamp making resin in a little bottle. Then we have our resin washout detergent here. We have post-exposure powder, the damming tape that we just used. So let's go ahead with pouring out the photopolymer. It's a little stiff since it's a bit chilly in this room. If you heat up the bottle slightly, it will be easier to pour out. Okay, so that is our resin that's being dispersed. We want to check and make sure there are no air bubbles. And sometimes you will find air bubbles. You don't want to see any air bubbles on the letters. So in our case, we're fine. Now I have prepared a backing sheet. And there are two sides to this backing sheet. One is a smooth, and the other one is a rough side. So with the rough side, we want to lay it down on the photopolymer, starting in the middle, and let it just rest on it. Next, we take our other plate glass with the magnetic strips down. So now we will press on both of them, and this also determines the height of our resin or stamp. After this, we need to start our UV unit, And with the letters up, we want to put it in for 20 seconds. And that's 20 seconds. Next, we pull it out and we reverse it. And now we set it for 3 minutes of exposure. Our 3 minutes of exposure has completed. Now what we want to do is separate the two glasses, and we want to peel off the thin foil. We can remove the film. The reason we cover with cover film for the film, so we can reuse it later. Now we peel off our film, and we can reuse our damming tape for later, because as you see, it's not damaged. Like this. This foil with the resin, we can discard that into the garbage. So let's just go ahead and peel off the rest. And now we have our stamp. Next step is to wash this out. And we have 2 ways of washing. If you are in the possession of our ultrasound washout unit, like this one or similar, or you can use water and a brush or a toothbrush. So we have a resin washout detergent. It's a concentrate. So we only need to put a very little amount of this detergent. And once we make this is good for many uses. You will have to, change this water with the detergent once you make a lot of stamps and it's full of washed out resin. So now what we can do is take our stamp and either put it into our washout ultrasound washout unit and let it wash, or we can wash that with our brush like so. I should have poured just a little more. Completed our washout. As you can see, it is soapy. You want to put that into fresh water just to kind of rinse any soap and residue off it. And we have our stamp. Next, what we want to do is cut the excess away. We don't need the round the sharp edges. They tend to pick up unnecessary ink. Okay, so we have our stamp. This stamp will still be a little tacky. So our final process is to place that into a solution. We have here in this tray water. with post-exposure powder. And we don't need to put a lot into it. And this is, again, for multi-usage application. So we want to just sprinkle some of this salt, about that much. And like I said, this can be used over and over for quite a while. We do want to just, it's best if you use warm water so the salt disperses properly. But this is good. Now taking our stamp or stamps, we want to submerge that with the letters facing up. Make sure that it's submerged, and we put that into our UV curing unit for another 10 minutes. Once the 10 minutes is up, we take that out. We can clean it off in fresh water, blot dry it, and your stamp is ready to be mounted into your self-inker or wooded mount or any other mount that you choose to use. Thank you. This concludes our stamp making process.